Greetings, dear respected audience. This is Esther Mala, your firstly and successful global educator, corporate trainer, SDG, ESG, and technology enthusiast from Malaysia, who not only focus on her life but also desire to see others excel in their lives by offering quality education for all. Dear precious audience, esteemed academician, our dedicated project team of Elegant Empire Education welcomes you to the Real Talk with Experts Sustainable Development Goal Forum. We are privileged here to have Assistant Professor Dr. Anjum Qureshi here with us today, our host and project leader for this SDG Forum. In this forum, we will explore transformative strategies that empowers communities through knowledge. Together, let us engage in insightful discussion that inspires action and foster collaboration for a sustainable future with our honorable respected panelist, Assistant Professor Ajay Sharma. Uh, Professor Ajay Sharma was born in Karangpur, West Bengal. Sir Ajay Sharma is a visual artist. Presently, he is an assistant professor and research scholar at Parole Institute of Fine Arts, Parole University, Gujarat. He graduated from the Faculty of Fine Arts, MS University, Baroda in 1995 and went on completing his post-graduation from the same institution in 1997. He was awarded the National Scholarship and Lalit Kala Scholarship in Painting in 1996 and 2000 respectively. In 2013, he received a grant from Gujarat State Lalit Kala Academy to organize his solo show titled Home and the World. Wow, it's such an interesting profile. And I got more to share about him due to time constraint. I think by now you already know who is our honorable panelist, Assistant Professor Ajay Sharma is. Yeah, I think there's no need to elaborate more about him. Welcome, Assistant Professor Ajay Sharma. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Dr. Esther and Dr. Anjum Qureshi. Thank you so
Thank you for
much
joining us.
for having me
Thank you
here.
for joining us in this vital conversation. Now I will pass the floor to Dr. Anjum. Dr. Anjum, floor is yours.
Sure.
Thank you so much, Dr. Esther. And once again, I would like to welcome our esteemed panelist, Ajay Sharma sir. And today we were discussing on something very interesting. In fact, the installation techniques. If I would say, this is a very new term for me. And when we were planning to have a session on this, in fact, I had to read what it actually meant. And only after Ajay Sharma sir shared about it through the PPT, I could know what we are going to discuss about it. And yes, when we talk about the climate change, about global warming, we are so much worried because we know that the climate change that is going on, it is going to affect people, if it affect many people, it is going to affect economies all over the world. But still, we know that if we try to do something, if we try to come up with something, we can surely achieve it. Even this climate change, though it is becoming a problem, but somewhere if we try to control it, if we try to have some measures for it, we can be doing it. So, uh, so here in this session we'll be seeing how those visual artists, the installation artists are helping us to deal with this problem of climate change, how these visual artists are helping to achieve SDG 12 and SDG 13. So Ajay Sharma, so my first question here, like especially because installation techniques that we need to know. So, how do installation artists use art to create awareness among the people?
Yeah, actually, installation artists, they raise awareness by creating immersive experience that engage viewers with social, political, and environmental issues. Like, for instance, there used to be an artist, Vivan Sundaram, who is almost the forefather of installation art in India, because, in my opinion, he is an artist who introduced installation art in India, and he has been working with socio-political issues since several decades, and he just passed away a few years ago. So I would just like to specifically mention one of his installation projects, which is called Flotage, and yeah, he is talking about River Yamuna, which is basically a contaminated river which is getting polluted over the years, through contaminated chemicals, and through plastic waste, etc., etc. So to address this issue, he had created a raft like structure with drinking bottles, plastic bottles, which we use for our daily lives to drink water. And he has created a raft like this thing structure, which he made flow on the river Yamuna. So philosophically, he is talking about how the river Yamuna is getting contaminated by the plastic which people are using in their daily lives. So that is how, they sensitize people by addressing such issues and through images like this.
Yes, of course. That is really very interesting because we know that the rivers are getting polluted, and even more than that, it is interesting how the artists are creating a difference. When we know that plastic, it is something which is polluting the rivers, but you are using the same plastic to create something very interesting, and you're seeing saving the rivers, and also you are creating an awareness. So here, I would just like to know, what do you mean by upcycling and recycling in art, and how it will help to promote SDG 12, that is responsible consumption by everyone?
Yeah. Basically, upcycling in art refers to creatively reusing discarded materials to create new functional or aesthetic artworks, often improving the original material's value. And recycling is like you are breaking down the material and processing it and reusing it to create some artwork. These are the two fundamental differences between upcycling and recycling materials in artwork. And definitely, both practices promote SDG 12, which is responsible consumption and production, by encouraging sustainable use of resources, minimizing waste, and reducing the environmental impact of production. Through upcycling and recycling, artists raise awareness about overconsumption, highlight the importance of reusing materials, and inspire others to make more eco friendly choices, contributing to a circular economy. This is basically what upcycling and recycling means, and this is how it is related to SDG 12 in art.
Yes, of course, we need to talk about upcycling and recycling when we talk about responsible consumption. So, yes, it is not only just about consuming, but we also have to equally pay importance of how we are disposing of things, and how we are going to even in our last session that we had, we discussed about whenever we are making a thing, like we were talking about e-waste. So whenever we make that thing, so before that we should be knowing that how we are going to reuse it or we are going to recycle it. So that is very interesting. Like even the artists are using this concepts of reusing and recycling, because nowadays it is not just about using a thing and throwing it. We need to talk about minimizing waste. We need to talk about managing the waste, because the if the waste is simply dumped, or it is burnt and all, it
Exactly.
is going to
Exactly.
it harm our atmosphere itself, and in fact to us, it is disturbing. Not only, it is contaminating in the soil, air, water, everything, and it is then indirectly it is coming towards us. So managing waste is very very important, and of course it is how we are using upcycling and the recycling techniques, as you said. But when we want to work with the people, we are working for the community, all the techniques that you said. But in that, when we talk about development, one, there is a concept called as community engagement, where we involve people into it. So if you talk about the installation techniques that you're saying, so what will be the role of community engagement in preserving the environment, and how will installation artists use it?
Yeah, it's a very, very valid question. And here I would like to, talk about an art community or artist community called Disappearing Dialogues, which is based in West Bengal, Kolkata. And they are, concerned about the wetlands of the areas where, which is getting contaminated day by day by the, e-waste or plastic and so many things like that. So they are trying to, they are, contacting people, and they are, doing workshops with school children, trying to make them aware how, these, plastic and other waste materials are polluting the earth and the environment, especially the locality in which they are trying to survive and live. So they have made quite a few amount of art projects in, in Himachal Pradesh, in Kolkata, and they have tried to sensitize the people and the school children how pollution is creating, hazards for our livelihood. So they are trying to clean that area, sensitizing people, and, they have, given them plastic bottles, etc., to create artworks and installations which, talk about these social issues. So that is how basically these community projects, they sensitize uh, people and surrounding people to bring an awareness on the pollution that is seen today in the world and in the local areas.
Yes, of course, we need
Also,
to.
I would also I would like to add, it is basically a collaborative creation in which, they kind of um, bring about many people to create a particular artwork which talks about social issues. In this case, which, disappearing dialogues has done in two schools. They have, they have done workshops which is to sensitize them the hazards of plastic. So they have created an installation, where they have installed a real boat and a water body which is full of plastic bottles. So this imagery is really a strong imagery which is showing that the how the rivers are getting polluted by human intervention, how they are throwing plastic and garbage into the water and it is getting contaminated, and how a boat is trying to move across this kind of debris of waste, plastic waste. So this is how, they sensitize people.
Yes, that's really great, because when we are working for the people, when we are there to create awareness among the people, it is not just enough that we go and we start speaking, okay, this is to be done and you should behave like this, you should not throw waste, you should recycle. You can give a number of terms, but until and unless we involve them, we involve them and make them realize that what we are doing, it is for you. We are not we have not come here just for something because we are being paid for it or something like that, but it is for your benefit. It is going to
Exactly,
benefit
exactly, yeah.
you and your
Exactly.
generations to come. So even not just if you talk about environmental protection, but any other field, community engagement is very, very important. And as well, you were telling about how you have worked. So here, I would actually like to know more, any kind of case study you can say, or any kind of project that you have worked, that you would like to share, in which you have told the people or you have reached out to the people, means especially the artist, where you have combined art and environmental activism to propagate that there is nothing called as waste and everything can be used. So any kind of such project or case study that you would like to share.
Yeah, it's a very interesting question, and here I would like to share a case study which I came across very recently, um, and interestingly, the title of that installation is "There is no such thing called waste." So this is a project, an installation project by Rachna Toshniwal, uh, who lives in Alibag, Mumbai, and on her visits to the seashore every day, she is confronting the beauty of the seashore while she is collecting the seashells, beautiful seashells. At the same time, she is confronting the numerous waste pollution that is created by the human beings, and she started collecting the waste litter, the waste materials which she came across on the seashore. It could be some sari, it could be some cloth, it could be some part of a fishing net. Whatever she could gather, she gathered all those things, and then she collaborated with the local village women, which is basically a fishing community, to weave and create an installation, weave a tapestry and create an installation out of that, and which got exhibited in a very, very prestigious exhibition. So here, she is itself calling the work, there is no such thing called waste, because she has collected the waste and made it into an interesting installation. If anybody is interested, then it can also go for a museum collection. So what she has basically done, she has gathered all the waste from the seashore and she has created it into a very meaningful installation. This is a very interesting case study which I just came across very recently and I just shared with you.
Yeah, that's really very interesting, and it was really great interacting with you. And Dr. Esther, if you would like to ask something or discuss something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, I thought you want to share the
Yeah, I have the
PPT.
slides. In fact, there are many more. Ajay sir has shared the slides with me, and he shared only about one such case studies, but there are many more case studies into it. So we can just have it, I think.
You want to
Yeah, I'm going to
you
play the
want
slide.
to
Is it?
okay, one
You
minute,
will
yeah.
allow.
Yes.
Yes, I
Let me
think
try.
Ajay sir, you can even tell about this. Yeah, this one I think you discussed just now.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah, 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 yeah. This is another project by a very, very serious artist, H.G. Arun Kumar, who has created this beautiful installation, sculptural installation, which is made out of bottle caps. Bottle caps that he has collected from all over the world, and it is woven and it is kept in a seashore. Uh, it as if some artificial, it is like some artificial intervention in a natural setting. And as we know that marine life and water bodies are getting contaminated by plastic these days, so this is a very very relevant sculptural installation which H.G. Arun Kumar has done. And it is like exhibited, it was first exhibited in Denmark. So here you can see a little boy is like kind of wondering what is inside. But each piece is a little, is a small bottle cap which he has collected. I think it is 70,000 bottle caps which he has collected from all over the world, and he has created this installation, sculptural installation.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I think this is one more.
And yes, and this is another project by him, which is called the Toxic Chamber. And like it is like, for me, it looks like a shark or something like that with sharp teeth. But it can also be read like a cave, which is full of like plastic, which has been collected from various areas, and like made into a beautiful installation which addresses issues of pollution and how water is getting contaminated, and the our earth is getting contaminated by the overuse of plastic. So here he is trying to say in a certain way that like overconsumption is dangerous. Overconsumption is dangerous, and like it would be really better if we could minimize our consumption and recycle and reuse whatever is left.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
so I was talking about this project, Disappearing Dialogues, where like you can see, if you can go to the next slide, if you can go to the next slide. Yeah, so here disappearing dialogues had, like they had done a workshop with school children trying to sensitize them regarding environmental issues. So here, on the left side you can see a real boat which is struggling through a sea of plastic bottles, and on the right hand side you can see a man who has just a bottle plant to draw oxygen from. So here, because of because it's very difficult to have oxygen these days, because carbon dioxide is more and oxygen is becoming less and less because of pollution. So here they tried to sensitize, and the school children came up with a beautiful and meaningful piece of art where a man has only a bottle plant to draw oxygen from.
Yeah, I think it's so that was really very interesting. So to see the how you are using the artists are using, and it was something where you can't imagine 70,000 bottle caps that you have gathered together, so,
Yeah, yeah,
and to
yeah,
create something very beautiful.
yeah,
That is very interesting, really very
yeah,
interesting to know.
yeah.
Yeah, Dr. Esther, if you would like to ask something.
Yes, really, it's really wonderful sharing, Professor Ajay, because I think you put in a lot of effort to get these slides out. And I just want to know how can the students, okay, especially in primary school, say from primary school, yeah, up to the university level, how can we, maybe you can give us some idea from stage by stage, yeah, how they can apply these installation techniques in their lives.
Yeah. It's a good question because it's related to education. First, I think like they should be sensitized regarding the environment and how the environment is changing, how global warming is happening, how glaciers are melting. It's a geographical thing, and then they should be trained to see installations by various artists all over the world, and how various artists have like worked on installations. They have collected materials, what kind of materials they have collected to show what kind of issue. Because like if you are like if you are showing something about global warming, um, I remember seeing the work of an artist who is talking about the glaciers melting. So what she has done, she like she made a public installation in which she had installed giant chunks of ice. And like people were interacting with the chunks of ice, and over the period of time, say after 1 day or 2 day, the ice completely melted and it became a pool of water. So this is how she is addressing the issue of glaciers melting. So they should be sensitized what objects or elements they should choose to like talk about for which issue. And then maybe the like students who are in the lower classes, they can start with small installations and small ideas, and gradually as the class level increases, maybe some 11th standard or 12th standard, then they can do group projects which will minimize their waste of energy, and they can create comparatively larger installations. And through the group activity, it would become easier for them to do research work. Because if there is only one single student, it would become very hectic for that student to do so much of research work and create a huge installation on their own. So it is better to use a group of 5 6 students to create an installation for which they can do the research work. Maybe they can do the research work on global warming, maybe they can do research work on water pollution, maybe they can do research work on industrial pollution, and then they can come up with an installation. So this is how you can, maybe you can like guide them to create an installation step by step.
Right, brilliant sharing, Professor Ajay. Yeah. So, okay, how does this initiatives, okay, installation techniques impacts a country's economy?
Country's
How we
economy,
can
how
help?
does it impact?
Yeah. I mean,
See,
how does it contribute?
it is a slightly tricky question, in the sense that like sometimes these are mostly created to sensitize people rather than like for economical gain of a country.
Yes.
Since
So sorry.
see if you can sensitize people, and if they can like minimize the use of things that they are consuming every day, then naturally the economy will become higher. If things are protected, then like naturally what is going to happen, then the government will not have too much of pressure to like clean water bodies, and like make things in a proper way. So if once they are sensitized, then naturally like it's a long process. I believe it's a very long process. and it may take many years, but it is definitely the duty of an installation artist to sensitize people regarding the environment, and with that, bring an awareness among the community so that they can do less wastage, and they can minimize things, which will automatically bring an economical gain. That's what I think.
Yes, wonderful. And you see, just to share, Professor Sharma and Dr. Anjum, yesterday I was watching a short video about how they want to. This is a form of recycling, but anyway, they were not successful in US. It seems in US, I can't really remember because I just had very fast. So they have they collected all the old tires. But this thing just came to my mind, so I'm just sharing. I don't have much figure to share now because I'm not very sure. But they have collected all the, they thought, okay, all these old tires, what we do to reduce the current, the current of the uh, waves, the sea. Okay, it comes, the waves comes with a very high speed, right, in oceans and all that. So what they thought is that, okay, by the benefits of having the coral reefs, you know um in the ocean, is to reduce the speed of the waves or current, right? So they thought an alternative way is make a good use of this disposal tires, which they cannot use. Okay, they want to dispose, they wanted to recycle it. So what they did is that they collected, they collected, and they used some iron, heavy iron uh, bars or something to tie it up, and they throw into the seabed. So in beginning it was okay. Iron, because it is the iron, it is the iron. I won't, it's something in iron. They tie the tires with an iron rod, like all around the, I don't know how many tires, quite long. So so many tires, and they tie it up with the iron thing, and they lowered it into the seabed. And as time passes by, beginning there wasn't much problem. As time goes by, what they realize is that all the iron was being eroded by salty water, right? Salt. So salt reacts to the iron. So day by day, all these tires drop away. Yeah, can you imagine? All the tires have been put together and tied up, but day by day, it all fall off from the into the sea. So when it fall off into the sea, it falls on the coral reefs, and and it also affects the lives below the sea. So they find that it is not helping. Beginning it was good, later it brings more damage than good. So so I think, whatever they decide to do when come to recycling, they also must also focus on what is the consequences if it fails in a long run. Yeah, most of the things they discover and they want to do, they have very good intention and they find it's very good, but maybe for a short period. So yeah, so there's a lot of things also when come to recycling, you know and all that. So it can also bring harm to human and also lives around, maybe on the land or even below the water. So this is a small sharing. Maybe you can go and find, but it happened in
Very
this
true.
happened in
Very
Florida,
true.
Florida. I
Yeah,
can remember now. It's in Florida. So if I get any, if I find that, because I did save it. Sometimes I got no time. I just save it. So I will send to Dr. Anjum and you. Yeah, you can have better picture of what it is.
definitely.
So just I was
Okay.
just trying to
Yeah.
get across this, and I think we have asked enough question, and my questions was not unexpected questions, and it was tricky, so sorry for that. But anyway, you answered it very well. Brilliant sharing, Professor
Thank
Ajay.
you.
Thank you so
Thank you so
much.
much.
And
Thank you
this is
so
a very
much.
interesting session. Yeah, I think most of our audience would have enjoyed very much. Very insightful, your sharings. So dear audience, uh, thank you for being with us, and I would like to thank Dr. Anjum for hosting this forum successfully. Dr. Anjum, you want to say anything before we do closing? Or
No,
maybe you can
not
close
yet.
it.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can close it.
no. Okay. Okay. So, dear audience, thank you so much for being with us. And we will meet again in another SDG forum with another interesting panelist and topic. And in this time and this wonderful day, I think we are very thankful to Assistant Professor Ajay Sharma from Parul University, India. Thank you so much, sir. Nice having you. See you again. Maybe you can, if you have any interesting topics to share in professional masterclass, it is 45 minutes to 1 hour. You can also join us. You just let us know. Let Dr. Anjum or myself know. So we will love to have you again. Thank you. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful
Definitely.
day.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
so much.
Definitely, I will do that.
Yeah, yeah. Great, great. Yes. Thank you. Bye bye.